Toga Virtual here. Welcome back to another flight sim video, and welcome to welcome firstly down on the ground at Manchester Airport, where we're in the Thomas Cook A321 Sharklets livery that was just been released for FSLabs. Absolutely looks fantastic. Probably my favourite livery so far in the A321. In this video, we're going to discuss what settings I have in P3D. I know I have done a couple of videos in the past on my current settings, but my settings have changed somewhat to accommodate different sceneries, etc, etc, and hopefully in this video you can sort of gauge what settings I have and what I do in P3D to get the maximum performance but don't lose out on too many visuals. Things like capping my frames to 30 FPS. If you guys want to do that, we can sort of run through that in this video also. But let's just jump in straight into the settings and have a look what we've got. Right, we're in the settings then. First thing I'd recommend to do is probably save your current settings that you have. So hit save and then give it a name, so that if you make a mistake or it's not quite right and you basically mess it all up, you can always revert back to your previous settings state. So before you start anything, I would suggest just hitting the save button here, give it a name, and then you've got that saved ready for going back if needs be. So coming down to image and texture quality then, FXAA off and anti-aliasing set to MSAA. I did have it all the way up to 8 times SSAA, but it caused problems, especially at night time, so it didn't look great. Texture filtering 16 times, pretty standard. And this is quite a big thing that I've noticed since I've been messing around with my sim settings, is that I've actually set my texture resolution down to medium. I've seen a lot of people have it on high and ultra. I just find that with my graphics card, which is a 2070 Super, that having it on high and ultra just really does tip it over the edge in terms of memory usage. Obviously being an 8 gig card only, that in the sim I only get around about 7 gigs to play with once Windows has taken their cut. So I leave mine set to medium, and I find it's probably the best setting to have if you're, like for me, wanting to have that fine balance between performance and visuals. Dynamic texture streaming I have unchecked. Main sort of settings over here. This is my graphics card, obviously. The resolution. Blackout is obviously off because you don't want it to be blacked out on other screens. And auto main field text. VSync I have switched off, and I'll explain the reasons why. I capped my frames to 30 FPS, and when I had that on with the capping, it was stuttering quite a lot. So I decided just to switch it off, and actually it's made a massive difference. Didn't need it. Target frame rate is set to unlimited, and what we'll do now is we'll just quickly jump into the NVIDIA control panel. I can't show you AMD guys because I don't have an AMD card, but I can show you what it looks like in the NVIDIA control panel and how to cap your frames to 30 FPS. So you're in the NVIDIA control panel. If you don't know where it is, just click on the little right click on the NVIDIA settings icon in your taskbar and click on control panel. You are then shown this display where you need to come into program settings, and then basically it will start searching for your programs, and then you'll see, and you'll drop down and choose P3D. And then basically these are the settings that I have changed. So this one, max frame rate, this is where I've set mine to 30, so you can literally come in, click on, and then basically put what you want. You can have 60, but I think it's recommended that you have half of what your refresh rate of your monitor is. So if you have a 144 Hz screen, you set it to 70. I've only got a 60 Hz monitor, so I'm going to set my frame rate up to 30. So they say whatever your max resolution hertz of your monitor is, use that, divide that by 2, and have that as your frame rate. I've changed a few other settings. So power management mode, I've got it set to maximum. So basically it means giving my GPU as much power as possible. Virtual sync, I've set it to half. Adaptive half refresh. Just gives that, stops that stuttering and stops that. Just keeps it nice and smooth, which is exactly what I want to achieve when I'm flying in the sim. And that's really it. That's basically it. You save those, apply those settings, and that's basically done. I would recommend not doing it whilst P3D is open. I would do it once P3D is closed, reopen P3D, and then you're good to go. So coming over to world then, this is where obviously the magic really happens. Level of terrain, radius set to high. Tessellation factor is set to high. Mesh resolution and text resolution is set to 1 and 7. A lot of sceneries that I've installed have recommended that you have those turned right up to get the most effect out of the sceneries, and To be honest, I've done that and I don't really see many performance issues at all with it set all the way up. High resolution texture, terrain textures is off. Again, it's just to stop my memory running out on my graphics card, because we all don't want to see those out of memory messages from P3D when we are just about to take off out of Heathrow or something stupid like that. Water is set to low, no reflections at all. Special effects detail is high, special effects distance is medium. Scenery complexity normal. Again, it's all down to performance over visual at this stage. Auto gen is high, auto vegetation is dense, and same with building density is also set to dense, and dynamic 3D auto gen vegetation is checked. Big one again, weather. So I don't use enhanced atmospherics. I used to use it and I found that my sim wouldn't run out of memory as such, but it'd be very close to that line. So basically what I've done is I've unchecked it and I'm using Rex clouds for P3Dv5, and I find now it actually looks much nicer. A few issues with enhanced atmospherics. It looks great on the ground and gives your plane really nice textures, but when you're in the air, the plane, it just looks like you're flying under waffles. It's just all crisscrossy. It doesn't look very good in my opinion at the moment. It's probably a work in progress, but for me, Rex clouds. If you want to see my settings for Rex, then put it down in the comments down below, and if there's enough of you who say you want to see my Rex settings, then obviously then I will do another video on my Rex settings. I also will do another video on ASCA. I have done a previous video which you can see now, but what I'll do is when I'll rewatch that video back, and then I'll check the settings that I've got now to see if they're any different. If they are, then I might do another video just to see what's different and show you guys my latest settings. If not, then I probably won't bother. So lighting, HDR and exposure both checked, and these are just default out of the box P3D settings. To be honest, I've not really changed anything apart from I think I've turned lens flare off. Just looks crap. Shadow quality is set to high, ultra, and shadow draw distance is high, and then these are the ones I've just got checked, and that's pretty much it, guys. That's exactly the settings that I've got. So a couple of caveats then. You guys, when you're obviously copying these settings, please bear in mind that I'm running an i9-9900K processor, like I say, with a 2070 Super graphics card, 32 gigs of RAM, and everything's obviously on a M.2 hard drive of SSD backup. So if your guys are wanting to copy my settings completely, then obviously just bear in mind that you need to have PC specs that are similar to mine to be able to have the same effects and performance. But if you like the video, then guys, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up, as it really helps the algorithm grow. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, because it really helps me make more videos. And recently the video quality is getting better, and a lot more people are reacting to my videos in a good way. So I really hope this can continue, because I'm really enjoying making content for you guys. I've been Toga Virtual. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.